Good evening, everyone. I'm Len Cannon in the KHOU 11 newsroom. Simple question tonight. When will it stop? Coming up tonight on KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock, we're going to talk to families who have been devastated. Let me tell you what's been going on. Just in the last 10 days, I've counted at least 4 stories we have done where people have either been killed or seriously injured in crashes allegedly caused by people who were driving under the influence. Now, we know Harris County leads the nation in DWIs, and it keeps on happening. And the thing that really upsets people, and it fires us up as well, is that oftentimes, and it happened in this case as well, you had someone involved in a crash who police had caused the crash. Well, that person already has other either DWI or DUI convictions. So why are they out in the first place? What do you think needs to be done about this? Reach out to me on the KHOU 11, my KHOU 11 Facebook page. Send me your comments, maybe even your questions. The most recent case is why this has everybody talking. Let's show you the video here. Just yesterday, a woman and her daughter and granddaughter were all killed when their car was broadsided by a man police say was on drugs. At 10, you will hear from the family members now obviously grieving and in total shock. We know, as we say, Harris County leads the nation in these crashes. There's the really devastating video. You can see that the car went up in flames after it was broadsided. The suspect in yesterday's crash, in this particular crash, has multiple convictions and in fact was out on bond on another DUI conviction at the time of this crash. So how did he make bond? That's what folks are asking. We thank you for your comments so far. Julia says it has to stop. Patricia Reno says stiff sentences. These are the victims, folks. On the right, that was the grandmother and the 4-month-old, and then on the left was her daughter. Tonight you will hear from the families of these victims. They will speak to us. The family told us that this family had been trying for 10 years to start a family. Now the mother, the grandmother, and the baby that was about to turn 4 months old, all gone in an instant, all gone. And this is the suspect, Gregory Smith, who, as we said, had multiple convictions. You can see what they were for: harassment, evading arrest, criminal mischief, indecent exposure, possession, terroristic threat, theft from a person. I mean, it just goes on. And this person is out. Police say he was on a cocktail of drugs going really fast at the intersection of Antoine and the Beltway and slammed into a car carrying a family. One of the survivors from that crash is an 11-year-old, but the baby did not survive. The child's mother and the grandmother did not survive. Janet Vaught, she puts it in with a big hash mark, out on parole. What the heck? He asked, where's MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers? You know, they try and do their best, Janet. Rosie Renteria says, in jail forever. A lot of people would agree with you, Rosie. They never should have let him out. That's what Stacy is saying. Thank you for your comment, Stacy. Obie Thompson echoes a phrase we hear often in when we have this kind of outrage. He needs to be under the jail. Under the jail. Somebody said higher bonds. Bexar County holds DWI suspects and 12-year jail sentences. I think it's something the DA will definitely have to look at when you consider what has happened here just in the past couple of weeks. But it really hits home when you see what has happened to this family. They waited for years to have that baby. Now mom, grandmother, baby gone. All in an instant. It's just heartbreaking. And again, tonight at 10 you will hear from the survivors of this crash. And there was another crash on Sunday night. That was on Bammel North Houston at Champion Forest. The suspect in that case had three prior DWI convictions. He's now facing a murder charge. Some of you are probably saying it's too late now. He shouldn't have been out. Stephen Stein says Harris County needs to vote out these judges. Angie Ryan says it has to stop. Kathy says laws have to be stiffer. Apparently, that seems to be the case. Ooh, Robin Kohia says death penalty. Well, Texas already puts more people to death than any other state. Margot Mitchell echoes that sentiment to the Walls unit for him. She's referring to the death chamber up in Huntsville. The judge who allowed him out on bond should be held accountable also. That's from Jacina. Thank you for your comment. Stacy says, Teresa says, time for us to get tough. Houston needs to get major. Later, we need the police departments to stop releasing. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me figure out what she's saying here. They keep releasing criminals, and we're just tired of it. Ticks me off to no end. Yes, I think a lot of you would agree with that. If he would still be behind bars, the family would still be alive. Casey Dyson makes that point. You are correct. Debbie Hernandez says his rights are more important than their lives. Oh, that hits home. Is someone's rights more important than someone else's life? Now, we know it's hard work for judges and district attorneys. They have to weigh the suspect's rights, even if they've been convicted. How long do you put them behind bars? Will they do it again? Hard to know. Do they get treatment? We know that alcoholism and drug addiction is that. It's an addiction. And so when you get behind the wheel, you expose other people to your problem. The question is, are these people getting help before they are released and making bail or making parole or probation or whatever the case may be? This has people fired up. Let me go to more comments. And once again, I want to remind you tonight on KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock with Mia Gradney and myself, you'll be hearing from our reporters talking, both Lauren Tallarico and Grace White. They're talking to the survivors of these families that are so devastated tonight. I just can't begin to comprehend the sudden loss. It's one thing, if you have a sick family member and they're ill for a long time and perhaps they're an elderly person, it's still tragic, but you see it coming. Here are these young, vibrant folks just gone. There they are. Someone said 7 years per person. Some would disagree with that. Tammy Lewis says horrible, so very sad. Sharon says stop the bond out, no money bond, this kills people. Someone said exactly. Annette says so tragic, condolences to the family. Casey says how come they allow so many DUIs before the punishment becomes harsher? That is a very good question. Some would say the first DUI, especially if you cause an accident, you should do hard time. But the courts have to weigh. They have to weigh a lot of things. It's complicated, but it certainly doesn't seem complicated when you look at what has happened here with so many people dead. Raquel Ruiz says, tragedy for all the families involved. How sad. Someone echoes the death chamber. They say death. Kristen says, how is that even freaking possible that he's out? These are the kind of questions that we're going to have to be asking in the coming days about how the suspect in this most recent case from yesterday, why he was out after multiple convictions. I believe he had up to 8 convictions and was out driving, and police say he was on drugs, possibly PCP, when he slammed into that family's car in the middle of the day. Wasn't at night, wasn't on some bare stretch of road. It was just before rush hour near the Beltway and Antoine on the feeder. So tonight, again, you will hear from these family members. You will hear not only their grief, but also their call for justice after losing their loved ones. I thank you, everyone, for sending us your comments. People are very upset, very emotional, and you can tell when the comments rush in and flood in like that. We appreciate it. Keep them coming. I'll try and answer as much as I can when I get off the air here. And we'll see you tonight on KHOU 11 News at 10. Remember these families.